Welcome to tutorial 6. In tutorial 6, we're going to see how we can get a nice output of all the data of the images. And this is what we do with the setup log at common. So at the common tab, you have setup log. And there are different ways to get the output of the data. Well, first we have to set a name. Well, there's always a name already with the timestamp and with the date, so it's always unique. But you can also change it up. So if you say change, and I would name it tutorial 6 and save it, you'll see it's now called tutorial 6. Then you can also see the path where it will be saved. You can select instantly here all parameters and classes to output file, and now you can see everything is boxed, checked on, and now everything will be saved. But you can also see the object, the morphological parameters are not yet. Then you always have to check object or region, check it again, and then you can select everything. In this case, we're now going to do unclip it, and I'm going to show you the different ways of selecting it or getting the data out of the image. You can say I want to say the total image, or the object of regions. If you have regions, it will calculate with the regions. If you don't have regions, it will calculate with the objects. So we can, in this case, I'm going to select not the total image because we have the multiple plant files. So I'm going to look only at the objects. And in this case, I'm just going to select a few parameters. So I want to measure the FV over FM. I want to see the chlorophyll index. And I want to see the UE value, for example. I now have two options. If I have multiple images taken of different trays, I can use a batch analysis. And what it will do, it will detect all the files that are in this folder. So in this case, there are 8 files. If you would say, okay, I want to do a batch analysis, press OK, it will automatically calculate all the different images. Well, I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to show you how you can do it individually. Sometimes you have a small project, but maybe you have a lot of distortion from algae, or you only want to see young leaves. Then you can do this. So we filled everything in. You press OK, and now you can see log will appear with a 0. If I press it once, now everything is stored in this image. If I would say, I want to make a little bit of a change, I want to increase it by 200. So only bigger plants are there. You can log it again. If I say 1000 and log it again, you have 3 individual files logged. You can also go to another plant and say, wow, I also want this one to be incorporated, log 4 times. I'm going to show you where you can find this. So that's in your map where you have installed your software. Let me see this one for me. So now you can see a text file tutorial 6. It has all the settings of the analysis software. So you can see what was set for the classes. And then here we have the files. And what you can see now is we have the object number, 1. We have the FV over FM, the UE value, the chlorophyll index. You can see it's jumped a little bit because of the ranges. If you put this in Excel, this will restore automatically because this is the FV over FM number, for instance. But it's shifted a little bit in the text file. Now you can see until 178 objects. But then I logged it again. But in that case, I only had 175. So 3 images disappeared, 3 plants. And then in the last one, I had only 18 left. And now you can see, you can log it. It will all be put beneath each other in one file. And you can import it into an Excel or somewhere else. Now, I can show you also. So this is done. If you press setup log again, it will make a new file. And if I want to have this one again, I will say total image, and now I will analyze the 8 images at once. So I press OK, batch analysis, and now it automatically shows you the images there that are logged. So in this case, also the plants with the same settings. So be aware, you can see this setting is not proper for these plants, but be aware that all the files will be analyzed with the same settings. So if you don't want that, you should make different settings for different plants. If you have one experiment, but you have multiple plants of different varieties, I would recommend to save the plants as individual folders. So you can have one for cotton, or one for wheat, or one for tobacco, and make the right settings for them, but don't use one setting for all, because that will mess up with the data. Well, this is done automatically, so now we have a data analysis report of the 8 different files with the different measurements. Quite easy, quite fast. It takes about 2 seconds per plant to be analyzed. I can imagine that you would also like to have a nice image of it. So you can do it in this way to save an image. But you can also do it when you're doing a setup log, but you can only choose one. For example, you have the batch analysis. You can say here, save image to file. And for example, if you always want a color image, you say color, add the name of the experiment, add the information, add everything visible, and you say JPEG or bitmap. You just say OK. And now again, it will make the images. You can see header test plant. You can see the file names. It will be incorporated there, and you can also see it here. The computer will fill the images, add the images, and you will already have them. In this case, you can only select one. If you want to have multiple images, you can do it like this. We here have the batch image selector. So we have indeed, again, 8 files, but now you can say, I want to have a V over FM, I want to have chlorophyll index, anthocyanin, color, and chlorophyll. Add the name and everything. Morphological, okay, let's do that. Go. And now for every plant, it will make all these images, and they will jump in here again. If you already have done a color image, it will just add an extension to it. So you will never have the same image. And now you can see it will make all the images. So I would always do it separately. So say first I'm going to do the analysis and take a look at the proper data. And sometimes it won't give you the best picture also, but later on you can still get the best picture with the batch image analysis. So this is pretty much it. You can get it. So you can do all the settings for the ranges. You can do the RGB analysis, the UEs, the chlorophyll, anthocyanin, NDVI, everything. And when you have it set properly, I always recommend to save the profile. Save the profile so in the future you can use the same profile so you don't make any mistakes. Go to the setup log, select all the images you want or all the parameters you want to measure, and just say a batch analysis or log it manually. This is it. We will also post some extra tutorials about certain cases. We get some questions from our customers, for example, on root imaging, but also on really small object imaging. And in the near future, I will make some tutorials that will show you how I would do it and how I would get the proper images, the proper parameters out of the images. For now, this is the tutorial about the data analysis of version 5.5.0. If you're interested in this analysis software, but you don't have any equipment of ours, please feel free to send me an email at vincent.jalink@phenovation.nl, and we are happily to distribute the analysis software for free, and you can test it out yourself to see how our analysis software works. So feel free to contact me. So this is it. If you have any questions also, please send me an email. You can always send me an email about questions or how to do something. But for now, this is the end of the tutorial. And hopefully you had some extra information about these videos. And also, if you want to have different videos being made about a certain issue you have, please inform me and I will do that. Thank you very much.